I have so many life updates for you guys, more exciting ones. This is just a new journey that I'm on, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So I will go ahead and just cut right to the chase and just go ahead and tell you. I am pregnant. Yes, you guys, I am pregnant. Full blown pregnant. I mean, there is no other pregnant. But yes, I am pregnant and very excited. I will be expecting my baby boy in May, and I just cannot wait to see his little face. And I've just been wanting to find a way to tell you guys because it was kind of a personal thing. And to be honest, I hadn't quite told everyone in my life that is important to me. I haven't really told them yet. I hadn't really told them yet. So it was kind of hard to tell all of social media first and then not let them know. But I will go ahead and tell you guys the story of how I told my parents. I was expecting my family, my friends. So let's just get right into that. Before we get into the story, I would really love to just show you guys a quick update of my belly. I will go ahead and insert a clip right here. I was working one day. I was at work and I I was working really early that day, and I remember just feeling so drained. I didn't I didn't know what was wrong. I had eaten, I had drank, you know what I mean? I just went on about my regular day. I was working at a retail store then. Well, last year. It was around November. Yeah, it was around November. And I just remember going to work early that morning, and I just did not feel like myself. I felt so drained. And I remember getting on the register, and I remember just feeling so woozy. Like I actually did pass out. So when I got home, I had to actually go home early that day because I was telling my manager I wouldn't be any use to you today. I just cannot seem to muster up any type of energy. So I just went ahead and went home. And after I got home, I remember I had stopped by the food court to pick up my favorite little chicken noodle soup from Chick-fil-A, I believe. And I ate it. I ate it. It was fine. It tasted normal. Nothing was wrong. And I remember I went home and I ate it. And I was trying to sleep, but I remember it was a couple of hours later where my stomach just started grumbling. Like, I just felt horrible. I started overheating. I started sweating. It was not pretty at all. And I believe that like an hour later, I had wound up throwing up in my bed. I had just threw up. And I think from that moment in my head, I was just like, okay, Essence, this isn't normal. Like, you love this soup. Like, this is like your favorite soup. This is what you always order. And I just remember it was just not clicking to me. Like, my stomach, like my whole body was just, it didn't like it. So I kind of suspected it in my head. The thought popped into my head, of course, that what if. But so the next day, I knew I couldn't call in because it would look kind of suspicious, even to my parents, if I just called in. I wasn't even telling them that I wasn't feeling good that day, so I really didn't tell them. I just told them that I was just off work. So the next day, this is the next day, I had I think I had work the next day. I had to come back in. And I remember we have kind of like we used to call it the gas station at our mall. It's kind of like, it kind of looks like the inside of a gas station. And I remember picking up 3 pregnancy tests because they have them there. And I remember just going to the bathroom in the mall and taking a pregnancy test before I had to go clock into work. And I remember all three of them being positive. Because I didn't know that I was pregnant until November, I hadn't had any doctor's appointments, anything, none of that. No prenatals, no none of that. So I was pretty much just free balling. I was doing it the complete natural way. I was free balling. But thank God he is a healthy baby now. I'm so grateful for that. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend, like, the first instinct you have, I would recommend you take precautions. You have to think about your child at that point, especially if you want to keep your child. So by January, I had scheduled an appointment, and I had went in, and I didn't know I was 3 months at that point. I didn't know I was 3 months. I just knew that I was pregnant. So I had went to the doctors in January, and I had got my first ultrasound, and he was quite big. I don't quite remember how big he was. Let me go. I'm trying to think. I don't remember every measurement quite precisely, but I do remember the ultrasound picture saying he was 1 pound. So anyone who knows anything about pregnancy knows that's quite far along. Your baby is a baby. It looks like a baby. So I just remember going into the ultrasound and like just hearing his heartbeat for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're real. Like, I knew it. I knew it for a month. It's just that hearing the heartbeat for the first time and just seeing him move around on the ultrasound, and it just did something to me. I was automatically attached right then. We had an automatic connection. I felt so connected to him. I didn't feel scared or anything like that. I just went straight along with it. So after that, I believe I had told my boyfriend, I was just like, babe, I know what we're having. And he was just like, oh my gosh, what? What are we having? And I had automatically, well, this is after I got home. This is after I got home that day. This is like a whole day of secret. I didn't tell my mom anything. I didn't tell anybody anything up to that point because, I was still scared. I would be telling them now I'm about to be a teen mother. So I had went ahead and went home, and I had told my boyfriend, and he was just so anxious to find out what we were having, because at that point I was 20 weeks, I believe. I was 20 weeks. So that's the point in time where you could find out what you're actually having. And I automatically just said, it's a boy. And he went crazy. He was like, oh my gosh, send me a picture of the ultrasounds. He was so excited. I was like, whoa, 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 like, calm down. Like, I haven't even told anyone yet. Like in my head, I was just like, I'm hoping he doesn't post these pictures, because if he does, I'm gonna have to tell. I'm gonna have to, because, and especially if you put it on social media, it's only a matter of time before it gets right back around to the people in your life that you probably don't want to find out. That's probably the bad thing about social media in these days. But yeah, so I had sent him the pictures of the ultrasounds, and he was just, I think he was just in awe. Like, he was just like, that's our boy, like, that's our son. And I was in awe too. Like, I was floating on a cloud until I had to tell my mom. So I remember just laying in the bed, and I just randomly decided to get on Facebook, and I just remember seeing the post, and he posted it, and I was just like my heart automatically just started boom, 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 boom. I was like, no, 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 no. Like, I understand he was excited. This is his first child. And he's just the type that's just like, I mean, what's the point of hiding this? Like, look, just put it out. Let's just put it out there. And I was just like, I knew I hadn't told anybody yet. So I knew if anybody saw that, they were going to be so, it was going to be 10 times more of a pill to take. So I was just like, babe, just take it down. Please just give me a couple of days to tell my mom. He was just like, he was just encouraging me. He was just like, you need to stop hiding it from your mom. Just go ahead and tell her. They're going to find out anyways. Yeah, he was just telling me the whole time, you just need to go ahead and be honest with your mom. Like what are, I understand they're going to be upset and it's a lot to digest, but he's a blessing and we can't hide him for too much longer. You're going to start showing even more. I was already poking by that point. So he was just like, you're not going to do anything but get bigger and bigger. So you might as well just put your grown girl panties on and just tell her. And so I knew that it had to be that week that I told her. I just didn't know how I was going to, because it had been times where she had looked at me funny and just asked me, and I had denied it, and denied it. So I know if I just came out, it would be a whole thing like, oh, you lied. Why did you lie? You didn't think about the baby. So fast forward, I'm just trying to think of ways to actually tell my mom. Am I gonna just show her the ultrasound? Am I just gonna write her a text? We're in the same house. Am I just gonna tag her in a post? What am I gonna do? I just knew I had to tell her that week. So it just so happened that the next day we were about we were about to go to the mall, and I remember I had came into my mom's room to show her my outfit, and she just looked at me. She just gave me a long look, and I could barely look her in the eyes. Like, when she was looking me in the eyes, like, I would look this way and I'd be like, what? Like, I was trying so hard to avoid her face. And she just stopped and paused, and she was just like, Essence, like, do you have anything to tell me? Like, are you lying to me about anything? I know I've been asking you and hounding you for some months now, but is there anything that you feel like you need to tell me? And I was just silent. Like, I couldn't muster up. I knew this was the time I would tell her. I just couldn't muster up the strength to tell her anything. And I didn't for like 5 minutes. So she was just like, Essence, can you do me a favor? Pull up your shirt. I was just like, no. Like, I don't want to pull up my shirt. Like, and I just couldn't. So she was just like, so you're pregnant? I was just like, still, I was just hush my, I didn't deny it or anything. So she was just like, so you're pregnant? And I was just like, I couldn't lie anymore. Like, I couldn't deny it anymore. I was just like, yes. And automatically I got the dramatics. Like, I got the yelling, I got the screaming, I got the slamming doors, I got the hollering. It was probably, we didn't even wind up going out. I had all the emotions at once, and that was for probably a good 2-3 hours straight. And then after and she had calmed down, I had went in my room for like an hour, and I had just cried, and I had told some of my friends that I just told my mom, and I told my boyfriend, I told my mom, and he was just saying, be strong, babe, like, we're gonna get through this together, it's gonna be okay. And so my mom had called me back into the room after all of that, and she had told me that, Essence, you know what? I could be mad. I could be all of the feelings above. I could be mad, frustrated, pissed, all of them. Like, just all of them all at once. But I can't. I realize he's on his way here. And what else can we do? He's an actual baby. Now all we have to do is just prepare for it. Now, it wasn't it wasn't that happy of an ending. I got more yelling towards the end of the night. Trust and believe. It went from being hectic to calm, from hectic to calm, from hectic to calm. And it was like that for about a week. And I know you're probably asking the question, well, what about your dad? I don't live with my dad, and I don't communicate with him as much. Our relationship has gotten much better. I guess this is it is a blessing. And so the baby kind of brought us closer in a way. Like, it gave us a wave and a pull of communication that we've never had. And so from there, like, it was like a couple of weeks I had just been getting random phone calls. People just been like, well, you know what? Like, we support you. We love you. Like, I felt so blessed that I had people, at least the immediate people in my life. Now, of course, you're going to get the hate. Like, I really don't care about that right now. My number one focus is my little family now. So none of the negativity really matters to me anymore. But I felt so blessed that I had a family and a boyfriend and his family and friends just to accept it. I believe it's easy right here. It was not really easy. Well, for me to be sitting here telling you all of my stories and saying how blessed I am, and you're probably like, my situation probably isn't going to be halfway like that. But my best advice, because from the majority of the stories I've seen, it's always been ladies talking about their situation a year, 2 years, 3 years after. I'm still in the situation, so I feel like that's what differentiates me. So I can tell you from how I'm feeling now. I'm not gonna, like, I just didn't want to tell you 5 years from now, like when everything is all good. I wanted to tell you guys like in the midst of it. But my best advice is that there really is no good time. There really isn't a bad time to tell the people that you love or the people that you feel like needs to know. There really isn't a good or bad time. There is no such thing as timing. You just have to get it over with. But if, like I said, if you have any questions for me, any concerns, I will always respond back. I will always respond back to a comment, a message me, email me, all of it. You can just send me all the questions in the world that you possibly have. I will try my best to answer them, because I understand that a support system is really big at a time like this, that I honestly wish I would have came with, and I know it probably would have made a tad bit more of a difference. When you tell them, initially you might not be able to get all the things that you want to say out, but at a point in time when you can't just sit down and things are calm and they're just mellowed out, what you do want to come to whoever your guardian or parent is, or the person who just takes care of you, you want to come to them with a precise plan. I wish I would have, once things calm down, even in my house, I wish I would have came back with a precise plan, like, look, this is going to happen, 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 and this is going to happen. I feel like they feel like if anything in their mind, they're just like, okay, well, what are they gonna do? Are they just gonna sit around? Do you think they're just gonna raise the child here? Blah blah blah. Like, they just want to know that you have a plan. And I'm not saying up and move out. That's not what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is they just want to know that you have a plan. I really, really do hope that someone benefited from this video, and you could just leave your comments below. If you would go ahead and just subscribe to this channel, you guys, subscribe to it. I promise you will not regret it. I have a whole slew of things that I want to show you, from a nursery tour to my labor and deliver story. It's just so much more. I'm still gonna be doing makeup and fashion and lifestyle. It's just now I am incorporating my little bundle of joy into it as well. So that's exciting for me. So go ahead and subscribe and like and share so you can watch. Oh Lord. Okay. So you can watch the journey with me. I really do look forward to the next video, and thank you guys. Bye.